Welcome to another edition of Coaching Minute with Brianne Ligori and friends, where certified coaches help leaders to elevate their coaching skills so they're better able to lead today's modern workforce. Today's guest is Pam Ellerson. Pam is an ICF Professional Certified Coach. She also has decades of experience in the pharmaceutical space and currently holds a role as district manager at Boehringer Ingelheim. Pam, so happy to have you today.
Thanks, Bree, for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
Yes, and you and I first met back when we worked as colleagues as district managers at Boehringer.
I know, it's funny. I'll never forget the first time I met you. I can see the place Earl's in Burlington. And when you came in, I thought, I'm really going to like this lady. She's amazing. You had an aura about you, and we connected right away, if you remember.
I 100% remember that moment. So very, very excited to sort of get back to these conversations around coaching and how that plays into leadership.
Absolutely. Oh, so you're asking me that? Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. No. So for you, you've used coaching at all levels of leadership. So you've led, you've been director, you've been sales manager, many different levels of leadership, many different organizations. And you're also a professional coach. And so I know you strive to really use coaching with your teams as a leadership tool. So I'm curious, from your perspective, why do you feel that coaching is one of the most important leadership tools that leaders can use today with their teams?
I'm so glad you asked me that question, Bree, because I don't only feel that it's a great tool, I feel it is the most important tool to use with your direct reports or leading teams. And the reason is very simple. When you actually give the space for people to tap into their God-given potential and think about how they're going to craft solutions on any challenge that they have, and they develop a plan that they feel really good about, that's when the magic happens. They actually feel so good about knowing that they came up with the solution. They didn't have to get feedback from their manager. They didn't have to consult with someone else. They actually have inside the answers. And when you actually give the space for people to do that, it's amazing. There's no better way to empower someone, to have them be held accountable for what they come up with, the solution, and to feel that they are confident in knowing they can trust their own intuition and their own guidance inside. We all have the answers inside of us. And it's a matter of actually allowing people to do it, to tap into their potential. I can't think of a greater skill for someone to develop.
Yeah, there's so much there in what you just said, Pam. And the key thing that really resonates for me is like tapping into their own potential.
Absolutely.
And sometimes, we work with a lot of leaders at the Leadership Intensive to help them develop their coaching skills. And sometimes, what leaders say is there's a bit of fear there around, my team is going to think I'm weird if I'm just asking questions, or I don't feel like I'm giving value when I'm asking questions. I feel like I need to provide that solution to provide that value. And so what advice would you give for these leaders that want to do more coaching, but are, holding back a little bit because of that fear?
That's a really great question, because I think it's very natural as a leader to think I've always got to have the answers. I mean, if you think about it, since we were young, we've always been asked to give feedback, or we've been asked to give advice. And when you become a leader, those are skills you use and tap into so often. So I would say, first of all, give yourself grace to know that you've been trained since you were this young to hone in on those skills of giving feedback and advice to whether it's a parent or a direct report. And then I would suggest to a leader to think about the last time that they truly coached an individual and held space for them to develop their own solutions. And I would ask them to reflect on how that person felt at the time that they came up with the solution themselves, and how you felt as a coach, realizing that your direct report we're talking a lot about tapping into potential, tapped into their potential and had a solution. I would get new coaches to really reflect on when they've truly coached and done a great job, the feeling they get for themselves and for their coachee. And that's what you really focus on to truly go, this is why I need to coach. The other thing, it's funny you said sounding weird. And what I kind of giggled about that, because I thought, we all know this, that when we show our vulnerability or when we allow ourselves to be weird with our direct reports, again, we connect at a deeper level because we show we're truly human. It's not about being perfect, and it's not about having all the answers all the time. What's more important is creating a space where people feel trusted and empowered and the ability to come and bring what's surfacing for them.
Yeah, it makes so much sense. Like, I really see it as sort of what we call like a more side-by-side leadership, rather than, a positional power where I'm the leader and I have the answers and I'm going to tell you what those are and you're going to go do something. That's really the opposite of empowerment. That's really holding the power as a leader over people rather than, shifting the power to the hands of the person that you're leading.
Even what you just said there, shifting the power to the hands. I visualize that beautiful side by side, that connection, that ability to work together. And you're so right. That's what it's about. That's truly when the magic happens. And that's truly when you can come up with solutions you never thought about before. And I'm talking about your coachee right now doing that.
Yeah. It's so true. And, in organizations, we work with many different organizations. One of the key objectives is innovation. It's coming up with new ideas, new solutions, because it's so competitive out there and there's so many things changing very, very rapidly. And so innovation is key. And coaching is one of the pieces that's going to help people, like you said, come up with those new ideas.
Yeah, because you have so much fun allowing them to brainstorm and think outside the box and think about what someone else might say in this situation. You just give a lot of space to play. And you know what? When we play, when we're given the opportunity to truly be in the moment and play, it's amazing what happens. Like you build dreams, you build castles, you have fun. And that's why I love coaching.
I love it. Yeah, you get out of the what we've always done to sort of what is possible.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's not, what you were saying earlier about levels. All you do when you have that relationship of thinking, I'm the boss, you're the direct report, is you squash innovation and you squash the ability to see the true gifts that your direct reports have. And when you can allow them to shine by showing through what's inside of them, oh my gosh, it's the best feeling as a manager, as a leader, as a coach. It's the ultimate best feeling to see someone else shine. And you sit back in the background and go, wow, they came up with the answers themselves.
Yeah. And usually they're better than the answers that we would give them.
100%. You're so right. And that's the gratifying part of coaching, is it takes you to a level you never thought you'd be. And it's funny, at the outset you talked about elevation, and that word really resonates with me because it's elevating people's skills. It's elevating people's ability to think, create, devise. Elevation is so much a big part of coaching for both the coachee and the coach.
Absolutely. So thinking about how you operate as a coach, I'm curious, what is the most important coaching principle that you operate by?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I'm just going to do this right now. Honestly, the most important principle, and we've alluded to it in this conversation already, is to be side by side with your coaching and to be truly present in the moment. Because when you really show that you're listening and that you're with them and that you care and that you empathize and that you truly want them to do well and succeed, again, I know I'm saying this a lot, but that's where the magic happens. That's where you give them space to come up with the solutions. So
Mhm.
being present in the moment, side by side with your coachee, I think is the greatest skill. And the reason I feel it's so important, Brie, is I think initially I'm so skilled at leading, right? And kind of helping that person come up with a solution. And I had to really take a step back and realize it's not about what I see for them, like you said earlier. It's about what the coachee sees as where they are right now. And that's being truly present with them is meeting them where they are, as opposed to guiding them too quickly down a path that they're not ready for. And so often
Mhm.
as leaders, we do that. I know I've done that in the past. And when you're truly side by side and present with your coachee, you give them to space to explore and be okay with where they are.
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. I think very often, when working with leaders, we see them saying, well, what if they don't come up with the right answer? And what if it's not enough and they don't have
Yep.
enough action steps? And I think
Yep.
that's exactly what you're talking about here. But we
Yep.
always sort of say, it's okay if they have one small micro step that they're going to take that's going to shift things, because then that opens the door for the next conversation. And all of those little things are going to add up to that bigger place that they're hoping for them to get to.
It's so true. And what you said about being enough, who judges on what's enough? It's the
Yeah.
coachee. It's not the
Hmm.
coach, right?
Yeah.
And we've been conditioned and trained as leaders to say, oh no, we have to push, we have to guide, we have to get them to another level. But it's got to be on their time, and it's got to
Yeah.
be what they want. And that's where the
Hmm.
side by side is so important, and being present. And to your point, little steps, baby steps are what eventually
Yeah.
generate where they want to go.
They
So it's
really do.
so key.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So for you, Pam, I mean, you're a professional certified coach, ICF. You have put in countless hours to,
Yeah.
achieve that credential. But even as coaching experts, we still have always opportunity to continue to build our
Oh,
coaching skills. So what is your ongoing practice to continue to elevate your coaching skills?
thanks for asking that question. So, a number of things come to mind when you say that. One is actually Leader Coaching Intensive, LCI, having alumni get togethers. It gives you the ability to hone in your skills and craft and learn from your peers. There's nothing better than peer to peer learning. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one way. Another is I feel very fortunate to work for a pharmaceutical company that really values coaching and that has coaching get-togethers on a regular basis throughout the year, where we can really, again, learn from our peers and hone in on our skills and develop great dialogue about what we're challenged with these days as leaders, and really, again, tap into everyone's potential. Another would be ICF itself. They have ongoing courses. And I
Yeah.
look at them and I'll register for one. Now, I haven't yet this month, but I'm going to look at them over time and see which one resonates with me. And I'll add to that. And another is just practicing every day. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I'm fortunate enough to be a manager of a great sales team where I can lean into my coaching skills and shift from advice giving to coaching. And I see what happens when I do that. And I actually have been given feedback by direct reports. I really enjoyed the session. Sometimes they say coaching sessions. Most of the time they don't, though. They just say, I really enjoyed our discussion. I found it
Yeah.
very valuable. Yeah. And it makes me
That's the
so
beauty
good.
of it, right? That's the beauty of coaching, when it just feels like a conversation. It's not something we're
Exactly.
doing to someone, right? And I think that's
Exactly.
often what leaders are fearful of is, oh, people are
Yeah.
going to feel like we're manipulating them or guiding them down a path. But pure coaching is a conversation that it just happens naturally.
You're so right, Brie. And what I love about what you're saying too is the connection you feel when you're
Hmm.
having a conversation. And again, it gets back to that vulnerability when the coach and coachee allow trust and space and the ability to be open and vulnerable. Wow.
Hmm.
It
Huge.
happens. It's huge. It really is. And I just love the feeling when I know I've had that great conversation with a direct report or a coachee, and they they have this, like, they have a aha moment, if you will, or it just like, oh my gosh, I hadn't thought of that. And they just have all this energy towards moving forward. It's so gratifying. It's just so gratifying. Yeah.
Thank you so
Just
much,
love
Pam.
it.
I can see how much you love the work that you do. It just shines through. And so I'm
Aw,
really grateful to have this conversation with you and your expertise in this space.
thank you so much, Bree. And thank you for
Thank you, Pam.
supporting me on my coaching journey. You've been
My
an
pleasure.
amazing mentor to me. I appreciate it. Oh my God.
Thanks, Pam. It's great
Thank
to have
you.
you. Take care.
You too.